Kaylee, I'm Justin. So, before we get started today, there's just a few things that I need to go over with you real quick. The first thing is confidentiality. With that, it means that anything that's said between me and you during our sessions will stay between us. There are a few exceptions to this rule. First off, I am a student, so I do have a supervisor, and from time to time I'll be reporting to that supervisor about our case. When that happens, I will exclude your name, so your identity will remain secret and everything like that. Also, if you mention harming yourself, others, or if you mention any harm that has come to a minor or a disabled adult, that's something I'd also have to report. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
Alright. And since I am a student, I will be recording our sessions from time to time. If you ever feel uncomfortable during a session with the cameras being on, you can always ask me to turn them off. Or if you're uncomfortable with it in general, I can turn them off, not a problem. With the videos, they are used for my educational purposes, so from time to time also, my professors or other classmates might see them, but once I get the educational purpose out from them, I will destroy those videos. And also my professor and classmates are also held to confidentiality, so your identity would still remain secret.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yeah.
Alright, so why don't we get started? Tell me a little bit about yourself and why you've come in today.
I grew up in a small town,
Okay.
close family. I knew everybody in the school, so it's pretty easy to make friends.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to a community college where it was pretty much the same. I found my friends through sports, basketball and volleyball, softball, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came here to Platteville, and it was much more different. It was culture shock, really. I came from a small town, and now I don't know anybody here, so it was difficult to find friends, but I did that through basketball, through my team. Becoming more comfortable with myself and where I am. And then this is my second year here. And it went really, really fast, and I really enjoyed it. And I have another semester in student teaching, so.
Alright, so you come from a smaller town, close-knit community, so easy to make friends. You value sports. It's a good way to make connections. You spent some time at a community college and then came to Platteville, kind of a different place, bit of a culture shock. A little more difficult to make friends, not as small as a community as you're used to.
Right.
But you used your sports again to make those connections, and you enjoyed your last year so far. Alright, excellent.
I came today because a couple of weeks ago I had an incident between me and my boyfriend where we were just texting in bed, and I live here and he lives back home where I'm from. And he told me that he had such a bad day that he went downstairs and put a knife to his wrist and was contemplating ending it there. It was just really scary, and I still don't know how I feel, and I'm just worried about him, I guess, and don't really know where to go from here.
So you have this long distance relationship with your boyfriend back home. What's his name?
Evan.
Evan. It's Evan. And you communicating with him last night, and he had a rough day, and put a knife to his wrist, contemplated suicide. That'd be really scary and very difficult for you to deal with, almost out of your control.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that or felt that way even about myself. So I was pretty lost and, like you said, out of control. I was kind of helpless because I'm far away. There was nothing I could do, and it was late at night, so nobody was awake even. So I was really, really worried.
So trying to deal with a situation that you wouldn't contemplate doing has to be kind of confusing and make you kind of feel lost on how to handle that, and then also feeling alone because there's nobody else around. Everyone else is asleep.
Yeah, I felt like what am I supposed to do now? And it means so much. To me, I don't know what I'm supposed to do from so far away. And I almost felt guilty for leaving and coming here with him feeling that way. Coming to a new school and bettering myself while he's still back at my old school. And I thought he was doing fine, but to learn that this actually was crossing his mind was scary.
Feeling that guilt for, wanting to do more with your life, to get out and further your education. Almost feel responsible for what's going on with Evan.
I wouldn't say responsible, I would just say I felt like there was maybe something I could do or could have done before to help him cope with me leaving. Maybe something I could have said earlier in the day or talked to him about at some point that would have let him know I'm still there and that nothing's changed really.
So you have this long distance relationship. I'm wondering how that looks for you.
Well, it's not real. It was only an hour, so it's not real far. But it was hard going from every day being with each other to basically just 3 days of the week on the weekends, and having such limited time was difficult for us. And me leaving, I'd never really left my house before like this. So me being gone was tough, not for me only, but for him. Because we're best friends pretty much. I mean, you spend every day with somebody, and then they're not there, it's hard. So I think he just, it was a struggle for us.
And since there's a lot of sadness and I can feel that guilt you're holding on to. It has to be weighing you down.
Yeah. And now it's just, what do I do from here? I hope this doesn't, I don't want this to happen again. Is there something I can say? Is there somebody he can talk to? What's the next step for us? That's the next problem I have.
You said this is your second year here at Blackville, correct? I'm wondering what your first year here looked like in regards to your relationship with Evan.
It was the same, but he had never mentioned anything about this. I think now it being another year after summer, after it being in a summer where you can spend the time and then going back to school and then this happening, I guess it was real fast for him. Everything moved fast. So.
What are some of the positive things that you gathered from your relationship over your first year here?
We were able to make the weekends work together.
Mm-hmm.
It was still tough through the week, obviously. But we relied on those weekends and seeing each other and having faith in each other through the week that nothing was going to happen. We were just waiting for that weekend for each other. So.
Has anything changed from last year to this year?
He isn't going to school, and he decided to just work more on a farm with his grandfather. And I think the stress of that put more of a weight on his shoulders than actually school would. I think he wanted to go to school, but that stressed him out too. And he thought working would be better, be more beneficial for him, but it turned out to be the stress.
Mm.
So.
Well, I can tell that you definitely care about him a lot. You are mentioning a lot of how he's feeling in these situations and the stress that he's under. I'm wondering what you're feeling through all this.
I'm just kind of confused and lost, not knowing if he's going to try anything again, or if it was just, as he said, a moment of weakness, because he told me to, when it happened, to just go back to bed. It won't happen again. But a threat is a threat. You can't just say something like that and have me forget about it. And it bothers me because he bottles up emotions a lot. And I kind of do too, but this is something that you don't bottle up.
Right.
You don't keep this hidden, and I couldn't. I actually told my coach after it happened, and she directed me to a professional to talk to. Just because I had no idea what to do. I was lost. I had no idea how I was supposed to handle it or anything. So it was out of control, I guess.
Mm. So you're stuck in a situation where a guy you very deeply care about does something uncharacteristic, leaving you feeling lost and confused. Even though you both have a tendency to bottle up your emotions, this is kind of bigger than usual and more serious, especially in your mind.
Right. It was a shock. I couldn't hide my emotions there at all. And I didn't know what I was supposed to do, so. And I thought talking to somebody was the best option. It was very difficult for me, but it made me feel better. It consoled me, and then that made me realize that maybe that's what I have to do for him, is be an emotional outlet, or console him about things that happened in the day. Let him know that everything's okay and I'm always there.
So you took this confusing, difficult situation, did something that you're not used to doing by opening up to not only your coach, but then also coming to speak with me. And from this, you've showed a lot of strength and courage doing that, and also helped you realize that there are ways that you may be able to help your boyfriend, help him.
Still feel lost, but talking is probably the best option for both of us. And I don't know if he'll ever talk to somebody professionally. I'm hoping so, but if not, then I will be there for him as much as I can. Let him know that I care for him a lot, and if something is wrong, then I'll be there to help. I'm not going to turn him away.
So you're there to support Evan through all of this. I'm wondering what lost, when you say lost, what are you thinking? What's going on in your head or in your mind when you think about being lost?
Well, in the moment when I'm lost, I'm not really thinking anything. I'm not sure which direction to go. If there's something I can do, if there's not, if this is even going to happen again, if it was just something that he thought saying to himself even prove to him that I want to live. This isn't gonna fix anything. I'm gonna hurt a lot of people, you know. But I don't know, because how he feels is hidden most of the time. So.
Right. And not being able to know how he's feeling has to make it even more confusing,
Right.
scary for you. Because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Mhm.
Uncertain about how the future might look for you guys. Can you tell me, or what is a time that you might have felt lost, but then were able to figure out what to do to get rid of that blank feeling or uncertainty, and things turned out alright, or turned out well for you?
Well, not really anything emotional, but when I transferred here, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and I just sat down and thought about what I'm good at and what I enjoy doing, and I was playing sports, so I thought teaching others, being a physical education teacher, but is what I'm meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was lost before I came here, but after just thinking in my own mind and sitting down and talking to myself, I figured out that's my calling. So I don't know if he can do that, but maybe that's something he should try. Just relaxing and getting in his own thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the future or even the present, and how you can fix the present, and what is positive about the present, not the negative.
What would a conversation with him look like? Talking about fixing the present or fixing whatever he would need to not feel the way he feels.
That'd be a problem. He's very stubborn, so he might not want to even talk about it. He might say a few words, but then drop the subject, saying it doesn't matter anymore, or we just have to deal with it however it is. There's nothing we can fix. So
I'm just trying to continue to bottle up those emotions, and
yeah, it's hard for him to express those, but I wish he would.
what do you think he might be thinking then? Maybe not having that conversation, but what do you think he might have going on in his mind when he's brought up with that subject, or you suggest, sitting down and trying to figure out or fix whatever he wants to fix?
He might be reluctant, but he might try it on his own without me there, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
But he might not listen to it, what he's thinking, because I think he's more worried about not making things worse than trying to fix them.
If he were to want to fix them, what would be the things that you think he'd want to fix?
How he relates to his work and his family, I guess. It can be kind of stressful to him, and he gets mad quickly at work.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously he can't express his anger towards his grandpa. That wouldn't be good. But I think that's one thing he would probably try and work on. And then how he sees our relationship from this long distance type of thing, where it's not an everyday thing, and it's a two-way street when it comes to seeing each other as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to go there, and maybe he's willing to come up here a few times, if possible.
So you're going through this difficult time, you feel lost a lot, and you found a time where you felt lost and you figured things out by reflecting inward and figuring out what you're good at, what you needed to do. It comes down to you like to help people and you want to be there to, help people, which really reflects with how much you care about about Evan and how much you want to be there for him and try and help him through the tough times that he's going through.
Right.
And also figure out what it means for your relationship.
I just want him to know that I'm there, and I'm not gonna, I'll be, like I said, his emotional support. And keep him, I guess, in control of himself and our relationship. I don't know that I'm there. I think that's what he needs the most, so.
What can you do to show him that you're there?
Talk to him every day, like I am, but always tell him every day is great. I mean, we're together, nothing's gonna change that. I mean, find the positive, don't worry about that negative. One negative thing, because that's sometimes what he does is focuses on the negative, and the positive is obviously better, so.
So it seems like you have an idea on how you want to help Evan and be there for him. And I can tell it still weighs heavily on you to make sure that he's okay and that you're doing everything you can. I think we can look at other ways and check in and see what else maybe able to do to help Evan and help yourself make sure that you feel comfortable again, that you don't feel lost, that he doesn't feel lost or confused and scared. Is that something you'd like to focus on then more for future sessions?
Yeah.
I think we can definitely do that, and I'll see you next time.